developments following the fallout of Trump's tariffs, the pause and the ongoing dispute with China. But we do now move on, and the Dominican Republic rescue workers have now ended their search for survivors of the nightclub roof collapse as the death toll has passed 180 in the Caribbean nation's worst disaster in decades. An official statement had earlier said that all reasonable possibilities of finding more survivors had been exhausted, and the focus of the operation will turn to recovering bodies. Over 300 rescue workers, aided by sniffer dogs, had spent 2 days combing through mounds of fallen bricks, steel bars and tin sheets, supported by firefighters from Puerto Rico and Israel. Aerial images of the site showed a scene resembling the aftermath of an earthquake, with a gaping hole where the roof of the club, a fixture of Santo Domingo's nightlife for half a century, had been. Over 500 people were also injured when the roof caved in, while renowned merengue singer Ruby Perez was performing for a crowd of hundreds. Authorities have said it's too early to determine the cause of the disaster. Well, here is how some family members are reacting to the tragedy.
Eso ha sido un proceso bien duro porque ayer nos pasamos el día de clínica en clínica, de hospital en hospital. Y en el frente del Jet C también, buscando a nuestro hermano con la esperanza de encontrarlo con vida. Desgraciadamente esta mañana nos dijeron que todo estaba muerto. Lamentablemente ha ido mi hermano.
Estamos totalmente consternados, tristes, el corazón partido por este desastre, por esta tragedia que ha afectado a todo el pueblo.
We move on, and US President Donald Trump repeated his threat to use military force if Iran did not agree to end its nuclear program. Trump said Iran could not be allowed to have a nuclear weapon, and if it declined to stop development efforts, military action could then follow. Iran, which had pushed against Trump's demands in recent weeks, said indirect talks would be held in Oman. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has also emphasised that a deal is possible only if the United States agree that there can be no military operation. Trump, who pulled the US out of a 2015 nuclear deal between Iran and world powers during his first term, earlier warned that Iran would be in great danger if talks were not successful. Meanwhile, Trump has also said that Israel would be the leader of a potential military strike against Iran if Tehran doesn't give up its nuclear weapons program. Let's hear what he said.
It's a start.
Do you have a timeline?
We have a little time, but we don't have much time
Who is starting the
because we're not going to let them have a nuclear weapon.
Is
Can't
it
let them
all
have a
going to
nuclear
be
weapon.
there, Mr. President?
And we're going to let them thrive. I want them to thrive. I want Iran to be great. The only thing they can't have is a nuclear weapon. They understand that. You know, the people are so incredible in Iran, and they're so smart. They're very smart people. But, you know, they're in a rough situation, rough with Iran. Yeah, if it requires military, we're going to have military. Israel will obviously be very much involved in that. He'll be the leader of that. But nobody leads us. We do what we want to do.
When did the clock run out on the talks?
That's because when the election was rigged, I figured they'd get...
Well, ahead of talks with Iran, the United States have issued fresh sanctions targeting the country. The US Treasury Department, in a statement, said it imposed sanctions on 5 Iran-based entities and 1 person based in Iran for their support of the country's nuclear program, with the aim of denying Tehran a nuclear weapon. The action comes after Trump made a surprise announcement on Monday that the United States and Iran were poised to begin direct talks on Tehran's nuclear program, but Iran's foreign minister said the discussions in Oman would be indirect. We now head to Europe, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has accused Russia of recruiting Chinese nationals and claimed that Moscow is attempting to drag China into the conflict. Zelensky revealed that Ukrainian authorities had identified over 150 Chinese citizens participating in direct combat. Let's hear what Zelensky said.
Ми маємо інформацію також і щодо інших
громадян КНР у складі російської армії з іменами, прізвищами та описом конкретних шляхів потрапляння таких солдатів в російській окупаційній.
Zelensky's comments came shortly after Chinese authorities rejected his claims as absolutely groundless, reaffirming that Beijing has instructed its citizens to avoid involvement in armed conflicts. In addition, Zelensky announced Ukraine's readiness to purchase up to $50 billion worth of US military equipment, signalling stronger ties with the United States in light of the ongoing war. As tensions continue to rise, Zelensky's remarks highlight the growing international dimensions of the conflict.